And we are live.
Woo-hoo.
Hello. How are
Hello.
you ladies doing?
Good. How are
All
you,
right,
Kim?
so I'm very good. But before you guys start talking about yourself, because I want people to like to be on and whatever. Um, I'm gonna go on to
Wine.
what's wrong?
Is that a big ass glass of wine?
Oh, you saw that?
Oh yeah. That's huge. Hell yeah.
I actually think it might be so. Crown Royal Peach came out with these like canned dr- like drinks. So
Oh.
it's Crown Royal peach flavored. I don't even know what it is, but it's delicious.
Yeah, try that.
It sounds good.
So I was excited because when I took a shot of the event banner and I went on TikTok and I put "bad to the bone," and
Mhm.
the first thing that pops up is that James Thorogood "bad to the bone," right? And I was
Try
like,
it.
no, I need something. So like finally I'm like going through all these songs and finally I found this like hot sexy woman one to just like put and she's like, cause I'm bad to the bone.
I know every time people hear our name, like they'll on Twitter, I always get these hits like, "Excuse me, sir, could I ask you a paranormal question?" I'm like, "Yes, you can, but we're a team of females." Everyone is insinuates that we're males, so it's pretty interesting.
That is interesting. I wouldn't I absolutely first of all, I like have so many compliments, but I'll save those because I want you guys to talk about yourselves, where you guys got started. Everybody hears me talk way too much. So they don't want to hear me talk. So um whoever wants to go first, I don't know if one of you guys was in it first and then how you guys got together and do you guys do live investigation? I know you guys share a lot of stuff on YouTube. Like seriously, like promote the crap out of your stuff because I watch your videos and you guys, I'm telling you, you don't fake anything. That's what I love the most about your videos is that your investigations, you guys are for you can tell you're not editing anything. You can tell you're not, it reminds me of like when I go on investigation. So it's like for me, I almost feel like I'm there with you guys. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this is how I investigate, and they do it for real.
Yeah, and that's what we look for, and that's why we just throw that raw footage right up there. The most I might do is add some subtitles so you can, hey, there's an EVP, get your things on, and I just try to keep it real. And it's really hard to edit some shit like that.
It
Then people
is.
are going to think it's fake.
Right. I
But
don't know how to edit anything. I'm like,
yeah,
I suck at tech. I suck at technology. I like the most I can do is crop a picture, like crop it to make it bigger. I don't know how to do any, forget the video stuff. I don't know how people do it.
right. Yeah, no, it's hard. I thought I would have a problem doing it when I got into this because I've done music videos in the past. That's my background is music. And I started to try to do it like the TV shows. And I'm like, no, because I don't believe any of the TV shows 100% because they edit so much. So I was like, we're just going to throw this shit up raw and see how it goes. And
Right.
no one questioned us. No one says nothing bad about us. And I think that's what keeps people from being negative towards us is do we just keep it real, you
And
know?
you have to have transparency. You got to be honest. If you're wrong, you got to admit it. I mean, it just, and then, you know what I mean? Like you just have to, because your integrity and your credibility is everything in
Yeah.
this field, you
Yeah.
know? And, as sometimes it must suck. There are some times where I get stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I really got something here, blah, blah, blah. And then I always refer to my friend Kenny Biddle, who he knows everything. So
Yeah.
I'm like, Kenny, what do you think about this? And then he totally ruins everything. Like I already know he's going to tell, he's all get, but if there is an explanation for it,
Right.
I don't want to put it out there.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. There's some
So
I got some videos coming out now where you see where you think we got evidence, but then I throw in, sorry guys, we didn't get it. Here's the debunking process. And I started doing that last year at Randolph when we did a balloon experiment. And I
oh, that's
realized
awesome.
it and it hurt everyone's feelings after they came back an hour later and I'm like, I debunked it. Here's what happened. But It's what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's not going to be like a lot of people think like what's happening is going to be like what they see on TV, where for an entire hour you're going to be getting nothing but evidence, responses, and voices, and this and that, and that's not how it is. I started going live the entire time during an investigation, except if we take a break, obviously, but I'm live the entire time.
Yeah.
And there are some people that are troopers and will watch it, but for the most part, people don't stick around. They come in, they come out, they do this, they do that, but we're not getting stuff every second we're in a location. Sometimes we're not getting anything.
Right. Or you're not getting it till the last hour of 16 hours later.
Right. So let's talk about you guys. Like, introduce yourselves and then just say how you guys got together, like how you started into the paranormal and then how you guys got together and how Bad to the Bone, which I love that name, was formed. And all that stuff. And whoever has questions, I'm sure Darren's here. So Darren will have a lot of questions.
Oh, Darren.
But go ahead. You guys go. I'm going to shut up.
Hey, how you got into the field and stuff like that. We're going to let Christina start today.
Yes.
My name is Christina. I didn't really get into the paranormal field until I met her about 3 years ago. Didn't really start investigating until last year. So I've been doing it for about a year now. I still am learning every day. I learn something new every time I go.
So like so when you met Angelina and she's like, "Oh, I'm a paranormal investigator," at that point, were you like one of those people that was like, "F that, no way," or were you like intrigued about it? Were you always interested in it?
Yes. Sorry,
cat climbing a window.
Yes, actually. But I only really watched stuff on TV. Never really thought about going out there and actually doing it, so, but I've always been interested in it. Yes, absolutely.
A believer?
Absolutely, 100%.
Did you ever have experiences prior to, meeting up with Angelina and then starting to go out and do investigations? Like knowing what you know now, looking back, did you ever really have experiences?
Good question. That's a good question. We never got asked that.
Yeah, I want to say, yeah, I think so, but I was a kid too, so I don't really know if it was or not, I've just gotten, I guess I'm more intrigued by it because I lost a son, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Oh, thank you. It's okay. I just know where we go when we die, and if we're happy, if, it's all that I think it is, so I just am trying to seek specific answers for myself.
So do you feel that you've fulfilled that so far? Like that desire to know, have you had any connections with your son or you know what I mean? Like, do you feel that you've understand better, or you feel like you know the answer to that?
No, I can't say that I do yet. No, we did get a response once asking what it was like to be dead, and we did get free
twice.
I do believe that.
Yeah,
absolutely. But have I gotten the answers that I'm seeking? No, not
yet. That's interesting. What happened?
Somebody said sorry for your loss. We were saying thank you.
Yeah.
Look, man, we're running the show, not you. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's right. No, you do it, girl. You're not bad to the bone for no reason. Just come in and take over. Do it.
You just go out and cook dinner or something.
Right? Love it. So I'm sorry.
That was a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I always ask that because I feel like because I didn't get into it until I was older, and once I started to learn things, it's like, then I looked back and go, oh, wow, that happened. That's what that was. You know what I mean? Like I didn't realize that at the time, you know? But I was always afraid of it. I wanted nothing to do with it, you know? And then until I had an experience for real. So I'm sorry, Christine, I'm really taken back by the sun thing. Like I didn't know that. So like I'm like trying to like kind of, you know, caught me off guard a little bit. But I can relate because my dad passed 22 years ago and we were like best friends. I know it's not like losing a child. I know it's, you know, it's all relative, you know what I mean? But still, like that was one of my main things was, you know, is that it when you die, or are they really still around us? You know what I mean? Or can they really still be here? And I feel that hasn't been answered for me, you know? I will say this. Do you ever feel your son around you? Or have you ever really had any signs from him?
No, not really.
So I'll tell you this right now. And this was once it hit me, my heart kind of rested a little bit because I always said, why do all my medium friends, oh, your dad's here, your dad's here, your dad, this is that. I'm like, dude, I'm doing this now. Like, I'm not scared, you know, like you can talk to me.
Right.
And we were tight, like really tight. But all of a sudden in my head, I get, you know, if he were to come to me, because I went through a lot of therapy and I had to overcome a lot of grief. I'm still grieving and it's been 22 years, but I've had to overcome a lot, you know, to get to where I'm at. And I think if I were to have a connection with him or see him, hear him, something, I feel like it would throw me all the way back. So I think he's protecting me by going through my friends. I had one visit dream, but I think that's what, I mean, for me, that's what makes my heart rest, knowing that that's probably the reason. Otherwise we'd be hanging out every day, you know?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, very interesting way of thinking.
Yeah, because once you like, if you see them and they leave, it's like they're leaving you again. You know, like it's never going to be enough. So I feel like the spirit knows when to protect our hearts, especially if it's family and blood and somebody that's been, you know what I mean, that there's no distance that can break that bond or that connection. So I hope you can find some solace in that. That's all I wanted to say. You know? All right, hold on really quick. We got it. So we do have some questions. I'm going to star everybody's questions because I want them to still talk about. I have to shut up because they got to talk. Anyway, so I know. Let me shut up and drink. So you meet Angelina. I'm in the paranormal. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So now, were you, Angelina, part of a group at that time, or were you just kind of an enthusiast, like doing your thing?
No, I've been doing it for 5 years. And I started a team 5 years ago, being new, and went through a few people and caught them lost. So when she came into it, I was solo dolo. It was just me going out with other teams to investigate.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I need people that are honest and willing to show up and work and put in that commitment and that time and that effort. And I just couldn't find them people. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. It's hard. It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. It's hard to find people that want, and it's harder now. Yeah. Because there's so many more groups and everybody, if somebody says, I just want to be on TV and that is it, like that's their end goal, you know, they're in it for the wrong reason. So they're going to do things to try to get there.
Yeah. And that's the issue I
Exactly.
had in the beginning 5 years ago. I was nobody. I didn't know any of this. But I had the opportunity to live somewhere that was haunted, where a lot of people came through, and the people I put on my team, oh, we're filming tomorrow. I'll show up for that. But they want to show up for other stuff, and I'm like, you gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not in this
Yeah.
for that. We're in this for that. Goodbye.
Right. I yeah, and that's the thing. Like I feel like I'm not in it to try to convince anybody. I already believe.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not trying to convince anybody. No, I don't want to be on TV. Like I like, granted, if somebody was like, "Oh, we want to put your podcast on FM radio," I'd be like, "Oh yeah." You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about that. Like, yeah, let's do that, But, I'm in this, one, to help people, to that, just validation for myself, and this and that, and to continue to build friendships and relationships and families throughout the community. You know what I mean? And because there are real people out there, even though there's a lot of not good people out there that are in this. You know what I mean? But they eventually weed themselves out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you guys decide we're going to have a group together, just you two.
Not quite that easy. Christina and I are partners. We were engaged to be married, and we've been together for 3 years. And I didn't talk about putting her on a team until after 2 years, because we have to make sure that, it makes me almost want to cry because she's so loyal. I have to make sure people aren't like, oh, well, Angelina's going to stick up for Christina because that's her partner, or that's her wife, or this is that. There's high standards. If Christina wasn't able to get along with me on the paranormal side, and no relationship, it's just doing what we got to do, she wouldn't be on the team. And I hate saying that, but there's an understanding there. Right. Our personal life does not get involved into our paranormal life.
You can't let it.
Sometimes when we're doing stuff, who doesn't squabble with new people who are trying to learn, and they think they got something, you're trying to tell them different? They're excited. They're like, wow, I got something. Yeah. That's normal. And does that happen? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Is it worth it? Yep. Yep. It's worth it, so
that's how you learn.
Yeah. So she's the first person in 5 years that I found that is honest.
That's awesome.
We've been to places and she'll be like, I'm bored. I'm ready to go. And then the last half hour, something happens. Or you hear on the walkie-talkie, I'm lost. Can someone come find me? Because she's not by herself.
Oh, that would be me. I have no sense of direction. I would just be like, no, nobody leave me. Nobody leave me.
Well, it does. I always tell people, I'm like, if you're getting ready to start a team, take your time. I don't care that it took me 5 years to find one good person that I'm keeping. We still got to find 2 more if we want, but it takes time.
It's quality, not quantity.
She's doing well. She's learning a lot. She's picking up fast. She gets a little upset because I pushed the envelope. Things happened to me last night or 2 nights ago. We were at the Air Force Base, and I'm like, come out and play. She's like, what are you doing?
Well, that I'm Air Force Base, see, now I do that too, though. Like, you're not provoking. I mean, it's not bad, that you're just trying to get things kind of like,
yeah,
going. Like when I'm in Gettysburg, I play like the Civil War music and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So,
right, yeah. In churches, we play church music.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do.
All right, here we have some questions.
We love questions. Bring them on. Come on.
There's a lot of people saying hello still to you guys.
All
right, so Darren asks, do you know what gifts you have, or do you guys have any gifts?
When I started my paranormal journey, no. But when I left the location that I lived at for 8 months studying the paranormal, I began to see dead people. I still see them to this day. I don't know what it's about. I don't like it. I don't want it. And I don't like it. So if I have the ability to see dead people, I see them reaching out. They talk to me. I don't like it. I don't. So
So when
that's
you
something.
see them, do they look like, or like just like a person standing there, or do they look like,
They
or it
look
can
like
be anything?
they look like us.
Wow.
Yeah. And sometimes I think, am I dreaming? Because you grow up watching scary movies and stuff, and the way you die is the way you look. And I'm like, you don't. If you're telling me like there's personal stories that they get shared with me when I wake up to this, and I don't want to say what they are, but it's like no, it's confusing to me. It's very confusing because it never happened until I left the facility I lived in for 8 months,
Oh,
and I
really?
dreams, nightmares. I wake up with, the only thing that someone has taught me to say is, I'm sorry. I know you need my help if that's why you're here, but I don't know what to do. This is new to me. So please give me time. And I've been riding on that for 2 years now.
You have like repeat people that come to you and say, okay, well, they probably don't have any. I mean, theory is there's no time,
Right.
whatever there, but I mean,
I
do you?
do.
Yeah.
And I don't know who they are. And I don't, ask. In my mind, I'm like, you should ask a name, but I don't want to. I don't want to open that door anymore at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And it's not
What,
comfortable.
when you go on an investigation, though, do you turn that on?
It turns on by itself. I don't know how to shut it off. I talk to her. I'm good. I don't. I can't help you. I can't help myself. Like she picks it up pretty quick. I guess there's something that I do, and a lot of people who investigate with me are like, "There goes Angelina. Somebody follow her," because I see them and then I go, and I forget all the rules of don't go by yourself, be with somebody. I just go. I don't hear them calling me back. I just head in that direction. So it sucks.
No, but I mean, when you're in the moment, you know what I mean? Like, it's.
I push that envelope in the moment, like, come use all my energy, and I get forceful and I get a little demand and my tone changes. And I learned recently to stop doing that because not only does it scare my team members, but it scares other people that I'm with that might not do the things that I do. But in the moment, like, I'm capturing evidence. I
Right.
need to keep going.
Well, not only that, but you're also testing to make sure what it is really what everybody feels it is. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not doing it to a point where you're like, Zach Haggins. You know what I mean? Like, you're not up there like, F you, come, throw something at me and doing all that ridiculous stuff,
Yeah, I met out. No, it's sometimes I will use it to my advantage and not tell nobody, but I definitely don't call it out. But apparently I do because they know. They know me well, like, and it's always like, well, who's gonna go follow her? Or who's gonna shoot her? Just take her out and shoot her. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
What about you, Christina?
That I can't really answer. I still am trying to learn a lot, and I'm still learning a lot about myself. So I have yet to learn.
Yeah. 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 Have you had experiences? Personal experiences,
I mean, yeah, I get feelings, but I think a lot of people get feelings when you go somewhere that's haunted, so.
True. True.
Guys are out and talk to me when I'm there. That's about it.
That's good though, because you know why? You could be that voice of reasoning for everybody. Like, you are like, everybody is interpreting something one way, but you could always be that one, say, okay, well, stop. Let's think about this. Let's look at it this way,
Right.
instead of just automatically, or being that person that just hears it all. I mean, I think it's so cool when there's like a group of people and two people hear or see something and the rest of the people don't.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That happened.
Yeah. It's awesome. So unexplainable.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it so awesome. Because there's no explanation for it.
Yeah. I hear people talking and I'm like, Huh? I don't hear that.
I've
But
never
she-
been so scared in my life. Out of all the places I've went to with this lady, I have not gotten as scared as I did the other night when I heard someone talking and she didn't hear it, and I'm like thinking I'm crazy. Like, am I hearing stuff? Like, am I losing my mind? Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was funny.
Do you have a routine before you go to investigate?
Just a lot of research beforehand, a lot of research on the way, and just keeping upbeat on the way to the location because a lot of these locations are 3 to 6 hours away, sometimes further. So we just try to stay really upbeat, stay positive because we don't want to go into an investigation negative. So mostly it's listening to music, talking about what we're doing, and just shooting the shit.
All right, what's the music? What's on the mute? What's the music?
God,
a little bit of everything.
it all depends on who's driving and who's coming, and
That's right.
everything but country.
Yeah.
She's like, I want that country stuff.
Y'all country pop. And then, you know, when we get there, our routine is to first do a walkthrough. You know, how long does that last? It depends. Sometimes we do walkthrough, we get evidence, and we stop. You know, so our routine basically is to stay positive. Stay positive.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I know when I was a part of a group, one big thing was like, you know, if you're scheduled for an investigation, and if you anything as slightly as even get into an argument with your boyfriend, or, you know, you feel any type of negativity, you know, and you can't shake it, then you need to stay home.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, a lot's changed since I was trained, but like one being something that you said, like my last couple of guests are all researchers prior to going to a location. And when I was trained, it was, you don't want to know anything because it'll taint your brain. And everybody, you know, you plant the seed. Now, a skeptic, a scientist, somebody that researches, you know, might argue that and say, yeah, you mean you're already putting that in your subconscious that, oh, there was a woman named Karen whatever, and she, you know, was hung on the property. You know, so you're going in there, even though you might not be thinking about it, it's still there. Right. But I still started thinking like, you know, this might be a really good way, because otherwise you're walking into a location like, if anybody's here, you know, like, no, if you have information, like, you know, it's legit, you know, that it's documented history stuff that's happened at a location, go there with it.
Yeah.
Use it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a requirement for Bad to the Bone for anyone out there who, you know, there's people trying to get on our team. If you don't research, you can't be on this team.
You got to research.
If you don't research, how do you know what to ask? You got to know about the history, not just the murders or whatever happened or the deaths. What I hate is when you go somewhere to a location and the tour guides tell you all their experiences, and then that sits in your head. And I see some people go try to get the same experience, and I'm like, what are you doing besides wasting fucking time? Like, I hate when tour guides do that. I try to sometimes ask, we don't need to know your personal experiences. Please just give us the tour. Because now you got people going here to look for that. And that happened to you 20 years ago. You know, so
yeah, but it's like, almost like they feel like they show you the hot spots. Like, that's one thing I'll say. I say, don't show me the hot spots. You can walk me around the building, tell me the history, you know, tell me things I've heard, but don't say, I'm only going to take you to the hot spots. This is what these people, I don't want to know what anybody else has experienced. Just give me the history. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to give a shout out to Ijing. She's in Indonesia and she's watching this. So she's sharing out to Indonesia. So love her.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love when we get other countries.
I do like Taylor Swift. However, when I'm on my way to an investigation, it's Metallica, Godsmack, Wu-Tang, something like that. Like, I need to get myself pumped up. Like, it's not, you know, but yeah, I will listen to that, but not on my way to an investigation.
Taylor Swift, I'll be going. I can't stand Taylor Swift. I can't stand Taylor Swift. I mean, I like one of her songs. I don't know the name of it, but I like one.
Somebody said something down here that what we're talking about. Hold on. I'd want to go to the non-hotspots. that's an interesting point, because I feel like those are the places where you get, Gettysburg is the biggest. Like everybody wants to go to Devil's Den and go here. You go to the ones that are less traveled.
I like the non-hotspots too. Like we went to the Air Force Base the other day. No one's ever been there. We read the little history about it. We read what the people say, but we didn't go in. We stayed outside and we got activity during the day, which I'm trying to figure out how to get off my IR camera because it's not supporting on my laptop. And we got the most amazing evidence outside that I think I've ever got in 5 years. We captured amazing evidence outside, sitting at the staircase, the same place in the video we sent you during the day. We got more activity during the day. I was petrified during the day. I mean, petrified beyond petrified. I was out. And when I watched the video back, I can't even watch it back all the way. I got to stop it because I am scared.
Yeah.
And I was scared the other night too. And I didn't even realize we left. That's how scared I was. But it was a feeling that I can't shake. So for me, it's just like, go everywhere. And if you can't go everywhere in that specific facility, go again. Don't just go to once. We've been to Randolph 7 times. And
you talk about Randolph County?
Randolph County Asylum?
I was supposed to go in October.
We'll be there in September.
Will you?
We've been 7 times and always something different. Always. Yeah. Time we had doors closing on us. Time before that, we heard a man speaking all night long. Like, it's different all the time. So you got to, I don't believe in hot spots and non-hot spots. I believe every spot is hot. And the spirit's going to come if they want to mess with you.
That's right.
And talk to you and give you their time.
Well,
that's what I believe.
You're right. And I feel like we all have antennas, and I feel like they're going to, which is why we could all be sitting here and one person hears it and another person doesn't, One person will see something, one person hears something, 2 people are like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I really think it depends on the actual person. Like, also, since you said you've been there 7 times, have you noticed that every time you go, you get more and more and more activity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. On Christina's 3rd time, she got a lot of activity as far as a little child. What we think is a little child, but could not have been. You never know. Pushing the ball without her even noticing it till after she watched it back. So she goes there and that's her thing. Let me talk to these kids that lived here. And she gets activity. I go talk to the kids and it's like still as day. So let me go talk to the adults and the thugs and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy. It's true. Like we were at OSR in March and I heard a whistle and there's about 10 of us there, 3 of us in the chair and there's people around. And I heard a whistle and I pointed, but no one else heard it. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm hearing stuff. But when I played the video back, that whistle, damned if it wasn't there. Damned if it wasn't there, but no one else heard it. That's amazing. Like I ask questions like that, like, how do you make me hear something but not them? What's the answer to that? How is that possible?
Or I've had like once or twice where I heard it and mostly everybody heard it, if not everybody heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Not captured on one recorder.
Well, yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. How does that happen?
That's what she's dealing with for the first time. That's what happened to her the other day. It's not on the recorder. Well, we didn't use a recorder. It's not on video. It's not on anything we went live on. And she's baffled. She is baffled. And I don't know what to say except for you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because there's when someone's baffled, you just got to let them be baffled because they're not hearing you all the way.
Right.
Absolutely. Like it's crazy. That's why there can't, I don't want to say, I don't know how else to say it, but there can't be a science to this because nothing is really that consistent. Only because, there's some things that are consistent, little things, but it's all about the person and your energy and what you are drawing in and what you pick up and what, whatever your senses, whatever your spidey, I call them spidey senses, whatever your spidey senses are, you know what I mean? Like you're going to pick up on that, whatever.
It's crazy. What
What's
separates? Wow, that's a hard question. I'm gonna let Christina answer that.
Do what?
What separates your team from others?
well, for one, you don't fake shit. I'm not saying all teams do and other teams do, but I'll shut up. You guys answer.
Different is, and I don't even know if we're different. We think of the box a lot. We don't try to go with the norm. We do a lot of outside the box thinking. I think what sets us apart, not from all teams, because a lot of teams are very honest and are very true to what they do. So actually, I don't even know what would set us apart. Besides that, we don't fake stuff. We're not in it for fame. We're not in it for fan bases. I'm in this because I'm afraid to die. So we just try to do what I was learned, keep it real, keep it honest, and respect those who have passed away that you're investigating.
Mm-hmm. And the locations, by the way. Anybody that's also people like to be stupid.
Clean up when you leave. I am the cleanup person because I leave bottled waters everywhere. You know when I've been in the building. That's all I you know.
But how so were you trained by somebody?
So my background is some friends were watching the YouTube. I'm Catholic and I said there's no such thing as ghosts. Knock it off. No, down the street there's a haunted school. Let's go check it out. All right, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Boom, I found something in my video the next day. Was like, holy shit. And I moved into the school and I studied the paranormal for 8 months. And due to that, I investigated with hundreds of teams that came in and, oh, this is your story, and taught me and came back to teach me more. And I still work with a lot of those teams.
That's awesome.
By many, many different investigators.
Yeah. I like being independent. I like not being a part of it. I like being able to work with multiple people. I mean, I tried the whole group thing and there's just too much drama in politics and all that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy. Like with Christina being us being only 2 right now, I always encourage her to go off with other teams and to learn what are they doing. You're either going to learn good from them or bad. And I learned a lot of bad teams doing this. I learned a lot of stuff, and I could tell you 90% of the people I worked with are full of shit. Now that I'm deeper into it, they're full of shit. But I'm always encouraging her, and other team members that will come along, I'll encourage them too. Like, we're out with these other people, see their style. You know, I can't tell you how many people's styles I've seen, and I just had to form my own style, and what it is, I don't know. I just go and I do my thing, and I forget where I'm at and I lose it, like I did that, but
I'm sure you two bounce off each other.
We do. She's good at knowing when something's not right with me, when I got to get Angelina's focus off of this because something bad's about to happen.
She's protecting you. That's cute. I love it.
She's so good at it. We were with another team that has 9 years experience who I trained with, another team. And I got something happened, and I don't remember 45 minutes, but they looked to Christina during her first investigation to step in because I was threatening to kick someone's ass. I was being nasty to people. And all they could think of is, we're going to shoot her. Christina, get her out of here. So Christina dealt with that for 45 minutes. First investigation. So I think she's got an ability. She's very intuitive. She can feel when something's about to happen. And I know we all can. We're all empaths to some sort. But I think as we go on longer, that empath is going to come through stronger for her. It's weird. It freaks me out.
Almost like maybe she might, because the story you're telling kind of reminds me of me and my ex. Like, and I'm not saying like you guys are ever going to be exes. I'm just saying like how, because he was the same way. He went from, to compare it, he went from first grade to a senior in college when he met me, as far as the paranormal goes. So it was explained to me like maybe I was just like a conduit or something like that for him. But he went from never having any experiences to seeing my dad sit on the end of my bed.
Wow.
Like full blown. And he didn't, and then it went to being able to, somebody's like, oh, there's a little girl. He's like, that ain't a little girl. So he was able, like, and it actually, unfortunately, scared him to the point where he left. Like, he didn't want nothing to do with it because he was starting to see the bad side of things. I'm not saying, Christina, that's what's wrong, but you'll have like discernment. But having discernment is so important. And there's no, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's
I
not
don't
a
know.
lot of
It could be like a couple thing, or it could be she's got something, and I think she does. And I love when couples investigate together. Like,
Yeah.
I Tori Haas and her man. They
Mhm.
get to hands and they hold hands to get the energy going and get them spirits coming, and they know each other well. And that's a beautiful thing on an investigation. And that's how well team members should know each other, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I want to
Absolutely.
know the smile on your face was I just pooted. I want to know you that well.
Right. Right.
But we'll keep an eye on it and see where it goes. But she is very. Sometimes she can call stuff out before you walk into a room, and I'm just like, and I don't really say anything. So pretend I'm not saying anything now because I don't want to go past her learning. But I think it's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, well, especially the more you do it, it's like a muscle, right? So the more you do it, the more you're working it out. And, you know, and I agree with the whole couple thing. Like, a lot of people, again, like I said, when I was training, that was like a no, like, because you would be distracted, or you could, if something bad's happening to somebody, you're like, you want to take it on and you can't do that, all kinds of stuff. Like, it was a no. But if you're in this field, you have a passion for it. If you're in it for more than a year, you have a passion for it. And it's good to have somebody that has that passion, that shares it with you. You know what I mean? That understands, okay, this is what we do. This is our thing. You know what I mean? And I think I love that. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so bad to the bone. No, I'm kidding.
And we're girls.
That in there.
And thank you to the Dollar General for the name.
Christina, you start with this one. What do you fear the most of the paranormal? Being the newer of the two of you, what do you fear most about it?
Sometimes just the dark.
The what?
Sometimes just the dark.
Oh, really? So you're afraid of, like, legit, you're afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be, but you know what though? I feel like, I guess when I am in the dark, yeah, you're kind of just like, but maybe that's because we're in the field. I'm like walking out of my bedroom and it's all dark. I'm just waiting to see some shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, who's gonna jump out?
Normally I would have said like possession, or how you say it? Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get possessed,
attachments and stuff.
But I've kind of already seen that, and it didn't, like, it scared me, but it didn't scare me as much as I thought it was going to scare me. So
good, so I can do it again.
No.
No. Well, you know why? Because there's rules on that end of it, right? They got to listen. They got to do. There's a way to get rid of it. So there can be an endpoint to that. You know what I mean? But not, walking around your house and seeing something that's not there. That's enough. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I mean, what would you say was your most scariest moment?
Watching
like,
her possessed.
Like legit, like heart pounding, like scared. Like, what the fuck?
That would have been the other night when we were out at the Air Force Base.
Which is so cool, by the way.
Thank you. And we're not to interrupt her, but we're not saying the name because we're going through the right channels to be able to go in there fully before we trespass in the building. Because we're going.
Sorry, go ahead. You're okay.
So I love Air Force. Like, you have no idea. I was just at one this weekend. I was just like, oh, anything military wise, it's so cool. That's so awesome. What about you, Angelina?
Oh, my biggest fear. I've been through so much and I've had so much happen to me. to be funny, but my biggest fear is falling down a staircase or an elevator shaft. That's my.
Little things like that do go through my head. I wonder if everybody goes, like, when they're walking down the steps, like, fuck, what if I bite it right here? And like,
yeah, it goes through my head the whole night because I'm walking around with a night vision camera, and the only way I can see is to look in that lens. So I can't see. A lot of times you hear me say, "Flashlight! I need a flashlight over here."
Right.
So, I think if I was fearful of anything else, I shouldn't be in this, because if you're in it, go all the way. Don't just go halfway, go all the way and face those fears. And I'm so proud of Christina that she walks alone in the dark now and does what she's got to do when she goes there. And the paranormal is not just about seeking out the unknown. It's about learning about yourself, and helping yourself get through stuff. And yeah, she's fine in the dark now. Just don't shut the bathroom light off when she's in the shower, because she'll scream. But she's fine in the dark.
Oh, I think anybody would, because automatically you think somebody's on the other side of the curtain, like ready to,
Y'all watch too much horror movies.
At least I'm not the only one.
I do. I watch too much ID on Discovery and all that stuff. Like, I'm like more afraid of like a human person coming somewhere like out of nowhere, or a wrong turn person, because I'm not into that shit. Nope.
Y'all need to stop watching horror movies. This is why I don't watch them. I watch them like this. I'm like, Christina, is it done yet? Is it done yet? She's like, why are you watching it?
Well, yeah.
That's funny. No.
That's great. There's so many questions.
Falling and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to be careful for sure.
Suicide too. I know people that have killed themselves doing this, because they've done things without researching how to do it, and they put themselves in those predicaments where they just can't get their power back and their power's overtaken. And a very good friend of mine killed himself. I'm not going to mention any names yet because his family's still alive. And you got to watch out for that too. You got to watch out. Sometimes I go too deep and she pulls me back in, and it might cause like a little anger, but hey, calm down. Enough is enough now. Take some time off, but that's just me trying to find out what's going to happen when I die, because that's my biggest fear in life, is dying. I don't want to die.
I'm with you on that.
I don't want to miss life. I don't want to miss anything,
But see, it's funny you say that, because like I think the same thing. I'm like scared to death of death, right? And I'm like, what if there is nothing
that we could die at?
Right, like, but yet here we are. We have, like, for me, I have thousands of EVPs, or hundreds, maybe. I don't know, but I have a lot of EVPs. I have pictures. I've had personal experiences. I'm not. I can sometimes hear the voices, and they get recorded. But you would think that would be enough for me to be like, okay, there is something, but we still don't know what it is that we're connecting with. Like, what is it?
Right. Yes.
What is it? We don't know.
Right.
But I agree with you on that one.
It's like, I compare ghost hunting to smoking crack, because crack addicts, they spend $20. 10 minutes later, they're spending 20 more. And here we are as paranormal investigators. Oh, that scared the crap out of me, but let's go for more, and let's push the envelope in. Let's go back. It's crazy, but you have to just try to maintain it and watch what you do. And I do over push the envelope, and that's something
as long as you're doing it at a respectful, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's okay. I mean, going out there and saying, oh, throw something at me and F you, mother effers, you guys suck, like, you can't do that, but if you're like,
no.
They're already broke.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
They're already broke. Like, whatever you need to let me know you're here, do it.
Yeah, right. Which is why it's good to do the research before you go.
Exactly.
At least you're going in there like, okay, Joe, like, I know you died here.
Right.
Do you know you're dead? You have some basis to go off of. You're not just like, yo,
right.
here,
That's like we got the information we need for the Air Force Base. What we don't have is there asbestos in the building?
Yeah.
Like it says online. So before we go in there, we need to check that first.
Oh yeah.
You need to ask. We went in a little bit the other day, and I see myself like, okay, there's asbestos where I'm going to stay right here, and I'm like, I'm not going any further. Then I start heading down the staircase, but you have to research everything, the land, what happened, even the owners. Research the owners and the people who work there. One time I worked with somebody at a facility, come to find out he was a child rapist and he's in prison now.
Oh wow.
I want to know everything about these tour guys, everyone who works here. Or, does the community say you're a liar? Well, if you're a liar and the whole community says it, I don't want to investigate here because you're making shit up. That's what I'm going to think. Like everything needs to be investigated. That's what I think.
So it's interesting because somebody made a comment about me because I had said on my shows, I said it my whole entire 5 years of being on a podcast, like all doing my Paranormal Brew.
Podcast. Podcast. She makes fun.
I don't think I have an accent, but people are always like, you got to like that are for, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't have an accent, like, but
it's like, Angelina, you want some coffee? And I'm like, yeah, I have some coffee.
Water.
Normal.
Coffee, water. Now, damn it. Now I forget what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Podcast. Oh, that's what I'm saying. So I've always said when I go on a private investigate, like I'm transparent around the board. Like the people know, like, listen, it's confidential. Nothing that you tell us is ever going to go anywhere. But you need to be honest. And one of the questions is anybody in the house on any medications? When we go do the prelim, I am double checking with the family. I'm opening up their medicine cabinets. I'm saying, like, listen, you got to be honest. I mean, too many times we just went off by the questionnaire and went to investigate, and there was falsities, and for me, that's a red flag right there. Like, why are you lying? Like we can't help you if you're going to lie.
Right.
So it's not just the medications, but like it's a 52 questionnaire, and there's reasons for each of those questions. And right. We go over to the phone, we go over it when we go to the prelim, we carry it with us when we do the investigation, if it gets to that. But you have to be and I'm just as honest with them as they are with me. Like I tell them, look, I'm going to go through your shit.
Yep.
So you need to be honest. You got to be honest, and it's confidential. Yep. So Darren says,
help them under your bed, because I'll be under there too.
Damn straight. Do you have a favorite piece of gear you like to use?
Go first. Recorder.
She does. She likes the real-time EVPs. I started that recently, and she's hooked. And I'm glad.
I'm with her.
That scares me.
I'm with her.
See? I like the recorder and the EMF meters, my two go-tos.
Mm-hmm.
I love the EMF meters. I love them.
Yeah. I like this. I like to use the things that aren't made for ghost hunting. Like I like the stuff that electricians use, or whatever. So I like the tri-field meter, the old school tri-field meter.
Yeah.
Oh God, to get my hands on one of them things are so damn expensive. But
old
school and the recorders, anything that's not made for ghost hunting, I'm all about.
I mean, look at the Warrens. They had just audio and video. They didn't have all these devices back then, and they got evidence. Crazy. So do we really need all the bingy lights and stuff like that? No. I bring the bingy lights when there's new people come in and you want to try to teach them stuff.
Exactly.
But I don't need to spend
or if you're at an event and you're helping out an event, or you're hosting an event, an investigation, a live investigation, whatever. I bring all I've thousands of dollars worth of equipment. It's all old because I haven't bought anything in the last 4 years. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm so fucking over equipment. Like I can't even. But thousands of dollars of equipment, and I never use it unless it's a public investigation and I want people to use it. I'm like, look, I'm not going to get mad if you go home with it by accident. Like, just go ahead, whatever, have fun. Like, whatever.
Got $5,000 piece of equipment. I don't give a shit.
My best friend was like, you don't like your Obelisk 3? I'm like, no, you want it? She's like, yeah, I'm like, take it. I don't even care.
Did she take it? Because I want one of those.
She did take it. She did.
Okay. Some of the stuff is good. Like, I really want to get an SLS. I've contemplated over that for a couple of years. And now that I've learned how to use it properly, just like you should learn how to use all equipment properly to know that you're getting an intelligent answer. And
Absolutely.
I enjoy the SLS. I enjoy it. I enjoy making team members and other people do exercises on it, and they're not knowing what I'm doing, and their arms are up for air. Like, you can have a lot of fun with that, but we go old school. We do. I think it's the best way to go.
Absolutely. Ray wants to know when you're coming back to Kentucky.
Hi, Ray. You know, Ray came with us to OSR. It was the first time we met him. He's an amazing investigator. He's an amazing author. And we will be back to Kentucky, hopefully end of summer. But we are coming back. We miss you guys. He is someone you should have on your show. He's got some great books out there.
He said OSR.
Yep. That's Ohio State Reformatory. He was someone that came on our public investigation we threw.
Oh, awesome. That's cool. I used to live in Ohio. Hated it.
Ohio sucks.
The first 6 months, sorry, Crown Royal. First 6 months, I was like, this is like heaven. You know, from Jersey, it's like from Jersey to Ohio, it was like, boom, like so relaxing. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
6 months later, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. What is happening? Like, I was so bored. I wanted to gouge my eyeballs. And the people there are like, this is all, they act like only what they see on, you know, and now back in the day, this was like 97. So Yo MTV Raps was on and all this stuff. Like, I mean, they only know what they see on TV. And I'm like, I can't even take it. Like, I got to get out of here. You know, it's like, and I lived there for 3 years.
Ohio is no different than what it was back then, because if I didn't live at the haunted school, I'd have been out of Ohio quick, because I'm from Massachusetts, and I understand what you mean by going and it's so quiet.
Yeah.
When I got there, I was at a gas station one day, and a cop came up to me, and he goes, "You don't belong here, do you? You're not from here." And I said, "No. How do you know?" He goes, "Because we don't wear Jordans in the Midwest like that."
Oh, no.
What? And I hate Ohio, but Kentucky, we moved there 2 years ago. It's an amazing place. It's amazing. It's so great.
Kentucky?
Yeah, it's great.
I've had some good moonshine from Kentucky. Yeah. Everybody thinks the good moonshine's like, you know, Tennessee and this and that.
No, Kentucky.
There are some backwoods Kentucky people making some good ass moonshine. Like
distilleries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on a second.
Moonshine.
We got more questions.
One time it came up, it went down and came right back up at the bar.
Oh, are you serious? Moonshine. Oh my God, I love moonshine. It goes down so smooth. I don't even care if it's made good. That's why I said Kentucky. I've had some from Kentucky. And I'll tell you, it's dangerous for me because I'll sit there and drink it like it's Tito's or wine or something like that. You can't drink moonshine like that.
Right. No.
You'll wake up 4 days later like, what the fuck happened?
Oh my
what happened? Like, damn, babe, you couldn't even lift my arm and put some deodorant on me or something while I was passed out. Just gonna let me lay here and stink?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, God. I could see that happening though.
So Darren says, who's the one investigator or team you would like to investigate with that you haven't yet?
Ooh. For me, since I know so many people and I love so many people, I'm not going to answer that question because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Fair enough.
For you, she's new into it.
I don't really know teams like that. Want to go investigate?
Is there anybody like on TV that you would want to meet or want to investigate with? I mean,
I would love to investigate with Jack Osborne.
I would have met Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. We would love to investigate with a lot of teams, whoever wants to investigate with us.
Yeah.
But sorry to answer the question all the way, but I don't.
No, it's totally understandable. Yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
All right.
Yeah. Podcast, I get all these inboxes. I thought you liked us. No, I thought you. I mean, like the shitstorm has started.
Yeah.
Because we have ran into that where people get a little upset because we're not investigating with them and we've asked somebody else. So we just kind of stay away.
Yeah, it's like really like I mean, like just I mean, for me, I'm like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and it's really frustrating when you have people that are like that get mad over stuff like that because it's. I mean, like there are 52 states in the United. You know what I mean? Like, there's like so much opportunity out there, so much to do. Like, and just because you don't go on this investigation doesn't mean there aren't going to be future investigations to work with. You know what I mean? So,
and it's like for me, if I'm going to a location, we bring in another team because it gets costly. So this is why we bring other teams to help break down that price.
absolutely.
I pick the teams that I know, okay, this location is going to be good for you because you do this, and you do that. And my team does this, so we'll blend well together. So it's not like you can bring every team to your location because they might not blend into that specific location or blend with you. I'm not even gonna, we investigated with somebody in Kentucky, and this dude, every time we went somewhere, all he did was go live on TikTok and talk. And it all of our evidence, everything. And those are the kind of people we don't go with. Respect EVP. Respect when somebody's asking questions. Just shut your mouth.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the people I don't investigate with because they wasted our money.
1000%. 1000%. So anybody that's listening that does that, that's not a good thing to do. Just so you guys know.
No, because I spent $400. There's two of us, so we spent $400 to go here, and now we don't have any evidence because it's contaminated. You know, and when we went to OSR, we had 15 people, and I'll tell you, in my 5 years of doing this, that was the best event with more than 4 people I've ever been to. Everyone respected everybody's privacy. Everybody, oh, they're asking questions. Let me stop. It was great. There were no liars. Everybody was honest. It was the best. I'll never forget that investigation. Although I didn't capture or catch anything because I was too busy making sure everybody was okay because it was our event. It was just so gratifying to see everyone get along so great. It was amazing.
So you just answered Darren's next question was what's your favorite location to investigate to date?
Oh,
my favorite location, I love OSR. My favorite location, I'm going to have to say is still Octagon Hall. We still have a lot of unanswered questions there.
Is that the Octagon Museum Mansion thing?
That's the Octagon. There's a couple of them. There's one in Virginia, I believe, and there's another one. But we go to the one in Franklin, Kentucky, and it used to be owned by James Caldwell. Yeah. He was a regular guy, but the Civil War ran through there, and it's a museum.
It is a museum, right?
Yeah, and again, you touched on it earlier. Respect where you're going. Mm-hmm. This museum, a lot of stuff from the Civil War, and that got left property because tens of thousands of soldiers die, and it's a big blessing to us when we're allowed to go to places like that. That says, "Hey, I trust these people." To say, "Here's, we'll see you later,"
right?
You know, and they're not going to take that Civil War gun and get $10,000 for it in an unlocked case. You know, like
that's actually one of the places on my bucket list.
You gotta go, and go 2 days. We went 16 hours, nonstop activity.
Very long night.
Nonstop. Go 2 days. We never even made it outside to do a whole outside pool property. Yeah. And we only did 2 rooms.
Really?
Go 2 days. It's nonstop active there.
That's totally on my bucket list. That is one place where once I heard that it was a museum and he had all kinds of stuff, I was like, oh, that is right up my alley. Like that's the places I love.
I know you love history, so you will love this place. It's all about history.
What about you, Christina?
I have to agree with her. That's my favorite spot yet. It's Octagon Hall.
I bet
Yeah.
you. Oh, I know it. Look, I got chills thinking about it because that's like one of the places. That's like one of the top places on my bucket list I want to go to. And
Well, when you call, let us know.
yeah. Hey, maybe we could set it up where we just go for, you know what I mean? Like we can get a bunch of, I don't know how many people he lets
Many.
Yeah.
You don't want more than 5.
Yeah,
More.
let's do it.
Yeah, it's very Octagon and it's 3 levels, but I mean, yeah,
Sound carries.
sound carries, but we ran a recorder for 13 hours and we did this last May and last March, and we still haven't got through all that evidence yet.
I know. I have so much to go through. That's the hardest thing. When you get when you have all these investigations, it's like making the time then to go back and listen. You know what I mean? And try. You want to, but.
And everyone watching the OSR trip, I'm getting the video out soon. I'm working on it. There's a lot to do. I like to put little videos out when we have public events to say, hey, we were with them, they were with us, and this is what we all did together,
Yeah. So as Jing is asking, where was the scariest investigation location for you and what happened?
Oh, I'll take that one first. That would be the Air Force Base the other afternoon. During the day when we went to map it out and survey the area. I was petrified. My heart was racing. I was just shaking. It felt like I had the flu. When you come out of the flu and you just feel, it felt like that, but my heart was beating hard and I kept getting interrupted while I was talking to the camera to say, this is how I'm feeling right now. And I stayed petrified until we were halfway home. That's my scariest moment. And I've seen and been through a lot, but it's unexplainable to me what made me go through and feel that. And we don't even know if this place is truly haunted yet. Yeah. We have a lot, but something it was not comfortable. Not comfortable. So eventually I say the name of the Air Force Base, but this is the first no one's ever done this there, so we're gonna keep that under wraps. I know because you watched our video, but we're gonna keep that under.
Which was awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I'm like, wow, like I really felt like because that's how I investigate. You know what I mean? Like just sit there, like it's. I love watching you. Tell everybody where they can find you. First of all, like I want everybody to know. While everybody's here, where they can watch your videos. And I mean, you guys go live, you guys are on, you know what I mean? Like, so I want people to be able to check it out because I want them to see, like, first of all, girl power. First of all, let me just say, girl power. I love it. But,
I mean, it's hard to always throw our screen names out there because Bad to the Bone is a popular music song. So every time we try to put that just Bad to the Bone Paranormal, it's not there. So we got a TikTok, we got a YouTube page. We're doing very well on Twitter right now. It's building every day. And we have YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So what I tell everybody, if you go to linktree.com/Bad to the Bone Paranormal, all of our links are there, and you can click the link, and it'll bring you right to those pages. So it's
a LinkedIn.
Nope, it's linktree.com. Linktree.com, and it's a platform where you can put all your social media links in one place and share that link out, and it gives them everything. You should look it up. It's very, very good. So when we post, I just post the Linktree URL, linktree.com/Bad to the Bone Paranormal, and all of our stuff comes up. Everything.
Awesome. I'll have to do that.
Yeah, you'll have to do that. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, please, because I'm like all over the place.
Or just Google Bad to the Bone Paranormal, and we're starting to pop up on there a lot too lately.
Yeah.
And that would take
awesome.
All right. Ooh, we're somebody.
You're awesome. So do you feel you get more activity during the day or the night, Christina?
Oh, man.
She said, Christina.
I think you can get I don't think it necessarily has to be dark or daylight. I think
She's smart. Good team member.
I think that the paranormal is everywhere we go, no matter what time of day it is.
Amen. What do you think?
I think I'm proud of you for asking. I'm always like, okay, let's see if she gets. I think she's right. It's any time of the day. I think that when I'm sitting at a bus stop, when I was a kid, you sit at the bus stop and you make fun of crazy people. Nowadays, I look at them like,
question that. Like,
are they crazy, or
Right.
are they seeing someone dead here?
Right.
And are they talking to that person? Because now I see dead people and I understand what it's like to, because I wonder sometimes, did she wake up when I was talking to one? What is she thinking? So I
Right.
think it's time. I think all the time. All
Right.
the time.
And that's the thing too. I mean, especially, I mean, I know there's other signs and symptoms of schizophrenia, but you know, they're seeing people. And are they really, is it really their mind, or are they really seeing people?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I know there's other things that go along with schizophrenia. I know that before anybody freaks out and yells at me and says blah blah blah. But I'm just saying, like, if you just take that part of it, you know, where they see, I mean, the movie Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
See, the paranormal helped me stop making fun of those people.
Right.
even
Like,
little kids that say they have imaginary friends.
Right.
How
Right.
imaginary are they?
They
Knowing
don't-
what we know now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I have 6 brothers and 1 sister. They all got kids, and my brother's like, Haley was like using words and sitting on the edge of her bed and talking to the, and I'm like, he's like, his imaginary friend. I'm like, imaginary.
You're like researching his land history for his house. Anyone die there?
He's like, shut up. Now he's a police officer, right? So everything's like, you know, I said, listen, I said, 9 times out of 10, kids don't have imaginary friends. Do they have them here and there? Yes, obviously. But when you have somebody that's having a conversation who's 3 years old and is using words that you don't even know what they are,
Right.
you know, like, you got to think that there's got to be something to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It makes you think differently. Like, I thank you for the paranormal field, because now I don't make fun of crazy people. Never done that in the first place, but now it makes sense. But it would, I felt guilty.
It happens.
Jeff says, I've always thought mental illness can open up a person to being haunted as well.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, a lot of people might disagree with this, but I'm not mental, so I wouldn't know. But like I feel like you have to like go. I mean, I feel like you would have to
Be in their shoes.
actually be in their shoes and experience it in order to make an assessment, you know. But I always say ignorance is bliss. I mean, when I first started, when I was an enthusiast, I was running around cemeteries like an idiot. I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm running around cemeteries like, oh, show me a sign of your presence. Boo-hoo. You know, I had no idea what I was doing. Thank God nothing ever happened to me. But you learn that you can't do that, because something might show you a sign of their presence that you're not going to like, you know? But I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And I feel like people that don't know any better might be protected somehow by something beyond what we can protect ourselves from, you know what I mean? Because it's innocence, you know. Mental illness is innocence, to be honest with you. When it's schizophrenia or it's this or it's that, I mean, those people, they can't help it unless they're treated and medicated. And I mean, I left my group. I was the co-director of South Jersey Ghost Research, and I remember a case coming in our way that the woman, they wrote on there, she was schizophrenic, and the husband was refusing to give her medications, convinced her she didn't want medications either. So the director at the time was like, no, you guys still go in and do an investigation. I said, I'm not bringing a team in there to do an investigation with somebody that's unmedicated and has a documented
history.
diagnosis of schizophrenia. I'm like, we're going to be walking around these people's houses at 1:00 in the morning. She's going to be like, what? She's going to have like a skits fit and be like, who the fuck are all these people? And like, then what? Then what's going to happen? Like,
you guys will be the next haunters there.
like, I'm like, no.
Very interesting question, though, Jeff. Very interesting.
Yeah. Let me see.
Like, do blind and deaf people, how do they perceive the paranormal? And I'm actually, one day I know a deaf community. I'm going to ask somebody to come with us and observe how are they investigating, and what can I learn from them?
Absolutely.
Because they're more than we are. You know, investigate with someone who's schizophrenic. I don't know. I mean, I push the envelope all the time, so maybe I'll just go to the asylum and grab somebody for the day. I don't know. Just kidding.
Right. You know you're not. She sa's, I'm just kidding. And in her background, she's like, I'm on kid. Nah, I would do that shit. But I don't want to know.
You'll be investigating by yourself.
She's like, where'd you meet that person? Oh, I've known them for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they told me their name is 5 different things tonight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Christina's at home with the door locked. Like, what's the password? Like, we ain't coming in.
Go see the police before you come in.
Damn.
What's
I'll
the
leave it.
password?
Y'all gonna happens one day.
I'll be doing exactly what she said at home. What's the passcode?
You guys should do that. Like, look, we're gonna come up with a word, and if it's really you, you're gonna know what this password is. Okay? And I'm not letting you in. I going back to my ex, I remember he immediately got pulled into, so the group I was with there was probably like 25 of us, but then there was like 10 that were part of a special response team, which anything like a red flag out of those questionnaires, if anything popped up, if there was like 3 or 4 more questions that were kind of like, this isn't Casper, this team would go out. And my ex, like I said, he went from kindergarten to, a senior in college. The director of my group was like, I want him on the SRT. He's got discernment. I want him on there. So he didn't even get the pleasure of investigating like happy-go-lucky Casper places or like things that are just mundane, or you know what I mean? Like, the places we get to go to, the asylums and the jails and stuff like that. Not that they're happy-go-lucky places, but I'm just saying, like, just the places that are safe. He gets pulled into private home investigations where people are not having a good time.
Yeah.
And I remember and I used to tell him, like, you don't got to do this. Just because they want you to, or, you don't have to, but he would leave. And I remember one time, there's been 3 times that I've come close to that side of it. And I want nothing to do with that side of it. I have people that I can refer those people to, like, no, I don't want nothing. I only want Slimer, Casper, whatever the ones that are fun, like, or not even just fun, but human spirit interaction.
Yeah.
I respect that if they're an asshole in life, they're going to be an asshole when they cross over. I get that. I know there's going to be negative stuff, here and there, but what I'm talking about is something totally different. I don't want no parts of it. Came close, but he I remember he went one night, and when he left, something just told me. I aligned all the doors, the window with sea salt. I lit, like, and I normally am not like that. Like, I normally just kind of, I never put any thought into any of that, but he left, and for some reason I was doing that, and there were like legit, and you hear people talk about it, about how they hear from on the outside of the house, bangs and this and that. And I was hearing that shit. And I'm like, am I bugging out? Like, am I bugging out? Like, I was like, like on my deck, I'm hearing this boom, boom. And he's still on this case, right? And I'm like, he's never going on another motherfucking case ever again. And like, I'm like, this is not fucking happening. And I was like yelling, I'm like, you are not coming in this house. I don't give a shit what is going on. You need to go somewhere. I was putting salt around all the doors. I was lighting sage. I was praying. I was like doing all kinds of shit that I'd never do. And in my head, I'm walking around my house like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm doing whatever I think I need to do, you know?
Wow.
And he got back, and I remember waiting for him to cross that threshold where the salt was, where the holy water was, where whatever. Because I'm like, if he doesn't come through that front door and he's standing out there talking to me, I'm shutting that motherfucker, and I'm calling the director of my group, and I'm like, you need to come pick his ass up and do whatever you need to do before he comes back in this house.
That's crazy. That's funny. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. It's funny because we talk about the mental illness and stuff. The Air Force base that's decommissioned is owned by psychiatrists.
Oh.
All people. So I'm going to email him tonight and let him know what we're trying to do and get permission to go inside first and find out if there's asbestos. But I would be interested in asking him, what do you think about the paranormal? And what are what do you think about schizophrenia in the paranormal? Do you, and maybe get that answer for Darren and other people. Maybe we're there for a reason.
Exactly. I think that's true, though. I honestly believe that, and this goes back to when you were talking about like who you want to investigate with and who you don't want to investigate, you're not going to say anything. I feel like whatever is supposed to happen for an investigation is going to happen. There's a reason things happen the way that they do when it's around an investigation. Jeff, I do want to address this. I also think too many investigators run as soon as there is a mention of mental illness. As long as somebody's medicated and they take their medications and they're good, I'm fine. It's when people lie and are not medicated and are not, because they're, whether I believe them or not, they feel they're having an issue.
Right. And you're in their personal home where they can trap you in if they're off their meds and you don't know where the hell to go. When you go to a location and someone has mental illness, you've been there, you know where to run, but you're in someone's home. You don't know where there's a gun, where there's a knife. You know, we don't do home investigations. And that's one of the biggest reasons. I don't want to deal with, oh, this person ended up lying to us the whole time, and or someone gets attacked. Like, nothing against people with mental illness, because I have family members with mental illness, but you have to be careful. You know, just like I thought, hey, you know, I'm being a tour guide with this guy, and come to find out he's a rapist.
Right.
You know, you got to check everybody. It's not just people who are mentally ill.
And that is why I make sure if they say they're on medications or they're not taking any, and I open up their medicine cabinet and there's all this shit in there, and I'm like, dude, you said you weren't on any medications. Like, you want to know, you know, like people are like, this one chick totally like berated me because I said I go through medicine cabinets. Like that's none of your business. I'm like, if I'm going into your house, yes, it is my business. Like, you need to be transparent. Like, I need to know. Like, if you have any mental illnesses and you're not taking it, or you do and you don't tell me, and you're on all these medications, like, there's no way you can help somebody if they're not honest.
It would be a human haunting where they're, hey, I'm up at 3:00 in the morning and I'm tapping stuff, and that's my routine every night, you know, and they hear it, like, you know, I agree with you. You got to ask all those questions. You got to do all that. You have to.
And when you go to the house, you have to make sure they're being honest. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a private house where they weren't completely honest.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got to say why. And listen, and this is what I say to them. I'm like, okay, let's pretend I'm a painter. Let's take the ghost thing out of it. I'm a painter. You say, oh, I got this spot on my wall that just won't go away. Can you come in and paint it? Or you come and paint my wall.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some patches that need to be done. This and that. So here I am, I'm patching, but I see mold behind the wall. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to come downstairs. I'm going to tell you, listen, you need to take care of the mold because no matter how many times I paint,
It's gonna come out.
it's going to keep coming and it's going to keep coming and it's going to get bigger. So you need to take care of that first in order for me to be able to do my job. So you have to make sure, and you got to be honest. And those people, they need to be honest and they got to listen to you if they want help.
Just like you got to make sure you know the people you're investigating with.
Absolutely.
When we go with new people, which is not for her, they're all new people. For me, they're not, because I stick in the same clique. They call it the clique. I stick with the same people. So for her, it's got to be a little more scary than me because she's walking in meeting all these new people. Yeah, granted, she might trust me, but there's still some fear there. You want me to go walk along with this guy? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to check everything. And I like how Jeff said he hates liars. That's my bugaboo.
Yeah.
That's his biggest bugaboo.
I'm telling you. I mean, I've had people tell me, I mean, like there's been like questionnaires that come through. It's like, you know, oh, we have, I mean, even down to like how many rooms and how many children they have. Like they would write, they have 3 kids. And I'm like, well, there's no, they'll say I have 4. And they're like, and all I see are 3. I'm like, well, you wrote 4.
Right. That's the one.
Why am I only seeing 3 kids running around? Oh, well, that's the 4th one is who I think is like my whatever. And I'm like, okay. So that means that I need to call my other team. I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like you never want to put yourself in that position.
Right. Exactly.
You know? So I totally agree. And Jeff says he goes in medicine cabinets all the time. It is so important. It's so important to know that they're not lying. I mean, I even ask, and now it's changed a little bit. Like I'm not how I feel about the Ouija board like I used to, because like I learned a lot about it. But one of the questions is, do you own a Ouija board? If you say no, and I walk through and I see one, what the fuck are you lying about for? Like what is happening? Like, are you sitting around with lit candles and doing like rituals and shit and trying to conjure stuff? And now you want me to come in with people and you know what I mean? Like you don't know. You just don't know.
Right. Exactly. And then you're doing it for free. You're putting your own self at risk.
Absolutely. So, and your family, because you got to go home.
Yeah. You got to take all that proper. You just got to do it. The same thing.
And the other thing is what the people don't understand is you're going in there with whatever they told you, that mind frame, right? You're going in there and you're investigating. You get to go home. They're still there. So if they're feeding you false information and you're going in there and investigating and you're not getting anywhere except you're rumbling stuff up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you get to go home and they don't. And that's the other thing. You're also protecting the client when you're that intrusive into their personal lives. You have to be.
See, me, I would be going through the medicine cabinet. It's like, oh, that looks good. I can sell that in the street. Oh, that. No. And telling the team, like, hey, look, I went through their cabinet, but they didn't take everything. I got the excess here, but shh. No.
Right?
That's what's helping.
They'll call you and be like, did somebody take my medication? Like, what medication? It says here that you're not on any. Right.
Oh my god.
You wrote nobody's on any meds. We didn't. What do you mean? What medications are you talking about?
I know a team that I learned from, and I went on many investigations with them when I first started this, and I thought they were a really great team. They were honest. They were this and that. Come to find out, no, they were doing home investigations, and somebody was stealing, a team member, and another team member was getting rid of whatever was in there without permission of nobody and not knowing what she was doing. And I started seeing the lies just tumbling in. I'm like, I think maybe that's too what scares me from doing home investigations. I don't want to ever be in a predicament they were in because they got sued. And damned if they, good for them people pursuing them.
Yeah.
So it's not always the place you're going you got to worry about. You also got to worry about the people. Like, I was devastated when I found out how much this team lies and how big their name was at that time. And then it just crumbled. And I felt,
I know. Yeah.
I just felt shit. Like, I've been supporting you. I've been learning from you. Granted, I did learn some things, but everything you do is shit. Like,
yeah.
And that's the sad part about investigating is when you like somebody and you find out that they're fake and stuff, and you got to walk away. You got to call them out with proof and walk away. That's sad.
Yep.
I've had a lot of heartbreak in this.
I have to, I mean, like I said, I was with South Jersey Ghost Research, the director of the group when I was training. There was 3 months of training, and it
Wow.
was investigated. It was out in the field. It was in a classroom type situation. There was a written test, there was a verbal test, and then there was a field test. To be able to get into this group, I learned so much from my director. I will never take that from him, because what he taught me, in my heart, I feel is the right way to investigate and handle private cases and this and that. Some things have changed because everything changes with time. You know what I mean? You learn new things and you get, whatever. But I haven't talked to the man in 7 years because he flew off the deep end. But I will never, ever, ever take away the fact that I'm happy that he was the one that trained me and that I learned from him, because prior to him, whatever happened to him, he was like on top of the world. I mean, he was like amazing, a mentor, and so I know what that feels like when you all of a sudden you're just like, what the, I mean, like, I gave you my all, like, and you're a dick, like, really? Like, so I totally understand that.
It sucks. And then you got to take down the videos, and then you're questioning yourself. Like, it's terrible. I mean, I have 2 people that I look up to in the field, and that's Keith Age and Gavin Kelly from Paranormal Journey. And I look up to them since I first started this, and they have not let me down yet. And I hope not, because they're the only 2 left that haven't let me down. There's a lot of teams I investigate with I'm talking individual people. I learned so much from them that if something ever came to light and they got caught out, I would be really dead. It sucks. It's like you're losing. It's just even hard to explain and talk about. But I send them my evidence. Hey, what was this? And I get the, no, Angelina, that wasn't that, and you should know better. But it sucks. It really does suck. It makes me want to cry. Like, I thought you all were great people, and
Yep.
the rapist guy, I had to take down so many videos because I was not supporting him.
Right.
And I heard he did, and had been doing it for 50-something years to his kids and football teams, and like, what the hell? It sucks.
But you can't blame yourself, right? You can't blame yourself. I mean, people.
They taught me the good, bad, the ugly.
Yeah, I mean, and it happens. It does happen, and especially in this field. I mean, I had somebody on. I learned a very valuable lesson from not, because most of the people that come my way, I know them, and I have them on, and they come on, I know them, and you get the 1 or 2 that are like, hey, can I be on your show? And I learned a very valuable lesson of having somebody on my show that was 1,000% a complete fraud.
Wow.
And using the paranormal platform to get into the homes of people that are in very vulnerable situations, as far as having a child that's terminally ill, or having a child that is experiencing paranormal. So he almost kind of like with the terminally ill children, he tells the parents that he's a psychic medium, and was taught by Mother Teresa, and he helped with exorcisms and this and that, and he can help them cross over and be with God. And then the paranormal children, he says, do you know, every 16 seconds, a child of the paranormal, meaning children that can see, hear, feel, whatever it is, have abilities, think about committing suicide. So if you're a parent and you have a child going through either of those situations and you're desperate, and you're watching Paranormal Brew because, you like Paranormal Brew, and I have him on, and they're like, well, if Tyron has him on, then he must be legit, so I'm going to call him and I'm going to want his services. He's like, I don't charge, but I take donations, and it's like, dude, I mean, it was just a fucking. I wanted to. I called him out. I confronted him myself. Like it was horrible when I found. I could. I was just like, I can't believe I had this motherfucker on my show. You know what I mean? Because just like investigating, integrity and credibility is everything when you have people on your show too.
But like you said earlier, there's a reason for everything. So you're the one that caught him and saved everybody from him. For some reason
I
you're
said
like,
it stopped here. And
yeah.
it stopped there. I was, and hopefully he tried recently to go on another show, found out about it, and I intervened. Me and Kenny intervened, and he wound up not showing up for the show.
Like, don't lie on social media on live. Like, hello, the whole world's watching you. If they're not, they're gonna see you at some point.
I said to the dude, I said, if that motherfucker shows up on your show, you better chime me in because I got some words.
Like,
I am not shy. I am not shy. I will tell about it.
That's got to be even a bigger letdown because you have a lot of credibility, especially being on podcasts and throwing yourself out there to the public live like that. Like I would feel guilty too if something were to happen. I'd be like, oh my God, I had this freaking guy on my show. I'd carry that weight.
Oh, it's horrible. I feel so bad about it. I mean, like I had to apologize to everybody. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't do my due diligence, on my end of it to look into this guy because the stuff he was saying was very easily Google and boom, there it is.
I'm like, Mother Teresa, how old is this guy?
I'm telling you, it's like, so like what he did was it wasn't just on my show, but it was like every podcast, like the story got more exaggerated. There was more added to it. There was this and that. So like I was at nauseum watching and listening to all these podcasts he was on prior. And then for like 2 weeks coming up. And I'm like, wow. Okay. So he was just pen pals with Ted Bundy at first. Ted Bundy.
What?
The next podcast, it was Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Son of Sam, and there was somebody else. There was like 4 or 5 of them. And then it was the next podcast. I was invited to Ted Bundy's execution and I went. And this is what happened. And Ted Bundy and him were pen pals. They were writing each other all the time. Like all this shit just keep. And he worked for Florida, the FBI for 35 years, under the FBI for 35 years in Florida, and the state police. They would use him as like the medium to help them solve murders and missing people and stuff. They never fucking heard of him. Okay,
I think what you're talking about. I think this guy inboxed me because he hit a couple of podcasts.
Yes,
I think we're talking about. And I'll remind you later off the show because
no, Robert Rigi is his name. I'll say it.
Podcast names for her to remember.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to, but yeah, he did. He hit us up. He hit me up on Twitter first.
Everybody up.
And then I hit somebody up and I'm like, this is caca bullshit. And when I called the guy out on Twitter, I haven't heard from him since. But he was hopping from page to page to page trying to. And I'm like, no. See, another reason we don't do podcasts, extra research.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's doing it.
So what's coming up for you guys? And okay, I already had you guys. I've had you guys. Oh my God, it's been an hour and a half. Time friggin' flies.
That's what happens. A bad to the bone.
Yeah. That's what I heard. Where can people find you, and also what you got coming up and stuff like that? Because a couple people already said they were going to follow you guys on YouTube and everything, so that's good. So that's what I want. Please
Inbox us, let us know when you follow, because we like to give the same respect and follow back. And you don't have to have a paranormal page, because we don't just watch paranormal on YouTube. We don't even really watch paranormal on YouTube. We don't even watch our own shit back. So
I don't watch my own shows neither. I feel you. Go ahead.
Y'all can find us at go to Linktree, linktreecom/Bad to the Bone Paranormal. It'll bring up links for all of our websites, and you can browse our websites just off those links. Even has our personal Facebook pages, and linktree.com/Bad to the Bone Paranormal. We'll comment that after the show.
Oh, no, I'm putting it but I can't. I don't have my glasses on. Is that? Hold on.
Oh, like she's really here. Oh, you
Link.
might.
Did I do it? Bad to the bone.
Linktree.com.
Oh, balls.
Or is it? No, it's Linktree / maybe bad to the bone. Let me see your phone. Hold on, guys. I'll find it. You all should get linktree.com.
I'm going to look into that.
You don't need to pay for their full version just to get one place to send out all your links. It's amazing. It helps, like when we do shows like this or we're posting, we just put the Linktree URL and people go everywhere to find us.
Christina, weird question. Are you in the medical field?
I am not now.
No? Oh. I don't know why. That just like popped in my head. Like, is she like a MA or like works in the medical field or something like that?
I always wanted to be honest, so that's kind of weird. But yeah.
I don't know. That just like hit. I was just gonna say, wow, like you just seem. I don't know why that popped in my head, but
yeah. So it's linktree.com / bad to the bone, and when you go on the site, I don't know if you can really see, but it puts all your links you want to put in. So if I tap something, it'll go like we're going to Twitter. It takes you right to the page. So you don't got to go like twitter.com / BTTB _ paranormal. It's amazing. Follow us on Twitter. We're really picking up on Twitter. We get big responses on Twitter. We're also on another. We're on a couple other things too, but we're gonna.
You can say them all. It's cool.
You can find us at Parapost as well. We're certified. We're huge supporters of that. We love Parapost. That's where we learn a lot of different locations from. So yeah, basically linktree.com / bad to the bone paranormal. What we got coming up? Oh, we got a big event coming up in September. You want to tell them? I'll tell you also we can't. No. So last year we did the world's largest ghost hunt, and we did it at Stone Mansion. Amazing place, amazing. That we were all three petrified for the night there. It was a lot going on. This year we secured Randolph County Infirmary, and we'll be going there for the world's largest ghost hunt.
Where?
Randolph County Infirmary in Indiana. That place I think is like on the top 10 most haunted or something, and that place is no joke.
Yeah.
Last time, door closed on me.
The big door closed on us.
A big double hinged door, heavy. As we all went through, it closed behind us, and we can hear it scraping on the floor, and we're like, "What was that?"
Creepy.
And we watched Destination Fear, and the same thing happened to Chelsea. So we even added that into a YouTube video. The door closing on us, same exact sound that they had when the door closed on.
That's interesting.
It's at the end of one of our videos, and I inboxed to make sure we could share that, and we shared their experience with our experience. Same sound, it's crazy. Until then, we're just we're in the process of moving, getting back to Kentucky. We're in Illinois right now doing some stuff with her son, and summer's here. That's the time to spend with her son. So we're, other than doing an Air Force base right now, it's just family time.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to Ashmore Estates in July.
Oh, awesome.
That's in Illinois, and we're going to make a little event out of that. And we know a lot of people are asking us to do some more events. After the summer, we'll be throwing something. Summer is really dedicated to just family time.
Yeah, no, that's good. You got to set boundaries. You know what I mean? Especially when you do this, or else this is all you're going to do.
Right.
I had to cancel some things. One of the cancels, unfortunately, hate myself, was Randolph County, because it's the same time frame as that Warren Paracon or whatever, that I'm going to that. So that's like the 27th, 28th, 29th of October. Well, Randolph County was the 30th, the 31st, which who doesn't want to investigate Randolph County on freaking Halloween?
Yeah.
We did it on Christmas.
We sure did.
That's awesome.
In their presence because it was quiet. They was all boozed up or opened their presents or something, because the only thing that happened was the freezer door. Other than that, it was quiet.
Yeah.
Wow.
On that turkey. We are going there. I mean, we have someone that won a contest, a young man named Liam from I think Pennsylvania, we're going to fly him out here because he won a contest, and he'll be at the world's largest ghost hunt with us for his very first investigation ever. And he's 18, and he's going to be with a bunch of us girls. So maybe y'all can co-share a ride, and you can come together.
Right?
Way here, we'll give you gas. It's already paid for.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got it. I will get out there, but that weekend I was supposed to go. It's just
You'll have a great time. And don't get a hotel. Just stay there. They have an amazing, amazing facility. You can cook full course mint dinners there.
Yeah.
You can sleep upstairs. There's 2 or 3 different bedrooms. They got a shower.
Yeah, I would sleep there.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's big, but you don't want to go with a lot of people because that's, I think, one of the places where, in my experience, the sound really carries because it's hollow. There's not stuff in all the rooms like most locations. So if you can hear somebody walking on the paint chips in the basement, you can hear them on the 3rd floor.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
If you go to a lot of people, you gotta kind of all stay together to know, like, okay, this person did that, and know what is noise contamination and what is not. So,
Right.
and go for 2 days.
2 days. All right. I was supposed to, but I'm not now, and I hate myself for it. But I'm gonna get out there.
It'll be there.
Right.
It's just not. It's not your time yet. When it's your time, maybe something spectacular is gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's right. See
You're
that?
probably on the ceiling.
I don't want to see that.
I don't see video of anyone who's seen it yet. It's just the tour guide saying it. But I'm waiting for that video to pop up one day. Maybe you'll get the octopussy. What's he called? Octopussy? Across the
The fuck? Wait, I gotta send you a video of Penhurst. Penhurst, it looks like a gargoyle, the shadow of a gargoyle jumping out of nowhere. It's
Oh, wow.
weird. It's a weird video. I can't explain it. I'll share it to you guys. I didn't take the video, but I'll share it with you, and you guys gotta look at it. But
want to go there bad. So when we get there, we're gonna be looking up a lot of these people that live out there.
Yeah, Penhurst is like one of my favorite places to go. I love Penhurst.
I want 3 days going there. There's a lot I want to.
Rolling Hills Asylum is another one.
Yeah, I've been there.
Amazing. I had the most activity, different types of activity in one night in that place than I have like anywhere else. Like Gettysburg, I don't count Gettysburg because Gettysburg, I'm there all the time, so shit happens all the time. But like Rolling Hills was like hands down one of the best investigations I've ever had. To the point where I actually felt breath on my cheek.
Ooh.
And something going, ho, 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 like laughing, and I felt the breath, and I was like, "Oh no, you're a little too close there, buddy." You know, like that was too close. It didn't feel bad. He was messing around, and me and somebody were like, "Do you hear that? You hear it? Yeah, I hear that." You know, and it was almost like he was like playing with us, and thought it was funny.
Wow.
I think that was funny.
No.
6 feet.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
6 feet.
I went to Rolling Hills in my very beginning, so I was still learning, and I didn't. It wasn't nothing to me, but I've been dying to go back now that I'm more experienced and I know what I'm doing, and I, bring them out.
Go back to let me know. I will totally go. I love that place. It takes me like 7 hours to get there. It's the worst drive ever in my life, but it's so worth it.
We're actually heading up to Massachusetts sometime towards the end of the summer, and we're going to take some time to go to a couple locations out in the East Coast and Pennsylvania and stuff like that.
Yo, you have to let me know, man. I'm serious. Like even, you have to let me know. We can meet up, and even if it's a, day trip to Gettysburg, if you're going to be near there or whatever, I don't even care.
I love Gettysburg. She hasn't been amazing. That's a lot of property to cover, man. That's a lot. I don't think going there 800 times you're going to cover everything. There's just so much to do.
I still learn. I go at least once a month.
Wow.
At least once a month.
Man,
and I still go. Like the other day, I don't know. last year I went there and stumbled across a Daughters of the Revolution cemetery. It was all women buried in a cemetery that were Daughters of the Revolution. And it's like, holy shit. Like, I didn't even know that existed. Like, I've been going since 2007. This was last year. I stumbled across this cemetery. I was like, what the fuck? Where the hell did this come from?
Yeah, I didn't know about that either.
There is so much. Every time I go, I learn something. I say it all the time. But
it's like the Disney world of the paranormal.
It totally is. It totally is. It totally is. It's the best place on earth. That's why I got the coordinates tattooed on my arm. I got the Gettysburg coordinates tattooed on my motherfucker. You know why? Because when I get older and I'm in a nursing home and I escape, they're gonna be like, "What are these? Oh, Gettysburg. That must be where she's from. Let's just take her back there." Drop me off in the square and I'm good.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's a different tattoo. That's really outside the box.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's my heart.
Wow.
I want to thank you ladies so much. I know this went way over what I said, but this was a great conversation. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm happy to finally face to face, well, not face to face, but kind of sort of meet you guys face to face and have this conversation. And I look forward to hopefully in the future maybe investigating with you guys, you know what I mean, and meeting up with you guys and doing some stuff together, because I think it's awesome. And women of the paranormal rock.
Yeah,
so,
we appreciate you. Thank you for having us on your show. I've had a great time. Yeah, I know, definitely. Yeah, I know how much you love Gettysburg. You're gonna really love Octagon Hall, and I know in the East, so they don't have as much history here with all that like we do back home. But Octagon Hall, we would love to do that with you. If you,
oh my God, I would totally do that. Like I said, that's on my bucket. That's like my top 3 bucket list is that Octagon Hall. So
people being killed outside.
The what?
While we were investigating, and we put our devices on a headstone of soldiers, and we got something like, I don't remember exactly, but get away, feet off, and our feet were standing on our grave, and it said feet off. Like, get your fucking feet off my grave.
Oh.
You hear like a cow or something getting killed.
Yeah.
And we were all like, and I had the 2-ways in, so it sounded so super loud. It freaked me out. I headed right back in that building. So there's a lot of property. People got to leave stuff outside, leave cameras outside, put some devices out there, because it just, girl, let us know when you're coming.
Yeah. I totally want to go there. That's one of, like I said, that's like number 3, like in my top 3 places to go to investigate for sure.
I heard about Virginia, but I've heard that this one in Kentucky is way, way good. I still like Octagon Hall. They hit me up all the time. I'd like to go there too.
Yeah.
So, come to Kentucky first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all you say is moonshine.
She'll be drunk. Did we go to Octagon Hall? Yeah, girl, like 5 days ago.
Wait, what happened? Was I seeing that, or was I just like, did I eat the peach at the bottom of the moonshine? Like, I don't know what's happening.
We've had a good time, and we watch your shows too, and we always want to meet new people and investigate, and because I learn from everybody. I'm never gonna know everything. No one's ever gonna know. So all we can do is keep learning from each other.
Absolutely.
That's Bad to the Bone Paranormal.
Yeah, Bad to the Bone. I love it. You girls rock. I love it, and I love that you guys are together and you're doing this thing together. I mean, it's just it's another thing to share together and do together, and I think it's amazing. And you guys are you don't fake shit. And that's the good thing. That's why I was like, yeah, they gotta come on for sure.
I'm Catholic, and my mother doesn't want me doing this, so at least the good thing I'm gonna do is respect those who passed away, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real.
Absolutely.
I get hit with lightning.
Right? I don't need that either. I believe that too. I'm like, yeah, you can't fake it. Integrity and credibility is everything in this. And the second you fake something or lie about something or whatever, that's it.
It's done. Yeah.
That's it, man. Like anything that I mean, unless you say, okay, I made a mistake, this is what I did, you come clean and you say it and whatever, but still people are going to be like, yeah, but you did
Yeah.
it. It's just, you can't do it. You can't.
And you're going to think about all the other people you've hurt that have become close to you and believed in you.
And
then
trust it.
changed because they hung out with you, built by association, you
Yep.
know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We can. That's why we're just like, let's just throw the video up the way it is. We don't often go live too much right now because Christina, I'm trying to teach her. So we try to stay off the lives a little bit so she's, more comfortable in doing what she's doing. And I can't, it's hard to teach and answer questions when I'm live. So
Yeah.
I've really back on doing that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you'll know when it's right to go back live, you know what I mean? And that's cool. And I respect why you're not doing it. It's not because you're hiding, you're training, you're teaching, you're trying to, you know what I mean? It'll still be there, so, and we'll all be waiting. I know I will be.
Yeah, I know. We put a couple of things up from the Air Force Base today, and I'm like, people are wondering, what are you guys doing? Well, we don't always go live, and it's a great learning platform for her,
Right.
It's the unknown over there. So it's it's great. It's great. We want to go to Octagon Hall with you. Yeah. We'll put her.
I want to go. I don't care what y'all do. I want to go. I want to
go. No, we appreciate you. We appreciate everyone who asks us to be on our podcast. Because if it wasn't for you guys running these podcasts, our word wouldn't get out there as fast. It's hard to push videos and promote yourself and get that word out there and try to do it in a way where people are thinking you're not trying to get famous off it or this and that. To be honest, we have turned down TV shows. I turned down Travel Station for a good offer because you're not keeping my evidence. And if I caught something that great, I can put it on YouTube and make more money. But that's not what I'm in this for. I'm in this for myself and to prove that we do exist after we die in some shape or form.
Right.
So if it wasn't for people having podcasts, our word wouldn't get out as strong as we want it to. So I thank you.
Well, I thank you. I thank you for that.
And
you'll have to we'll have to come back on again, but maybe the next time we go live together it'll be at the Octagon Hall.
Yeah, well, you won't get much reception there. There is no going live at Octagon.
Okay. That's all right.
We're in the middle of nowhere. There's no reception.
That's fine then.
A Wi-Fi box and we can get it, but yeah, so they can see the fact video of Tara going.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be like that dude that was, what was that one guy that was on Ghost Adventures where he was like, like every 3 seconds.
Aaron?
Aaron, yes, Aaron, yeah.
Bro, did you feel that, bro? That'd be funny.
Well, ladies, it's been real. I literally have kept you for two hours.
That's okay.
It went by very fast because you guys are amazing. And I love you both. I know, Christina, you and I don't talk that much. And, Angelina, we don't talk that much, but we do talk. And I think you guys are great. And I follow your page. I love your videos, everything. And you're also awesome with like putting like promos together and all that stuff. And I mean, you guys are just great. I love it. And I love the energy you put out, and it's great. So just keep being real. Don't let anybody change that.
Thank you. And to everybody who's doing future podcasts with Taryn or whoever, help promote the podcast. Do your own flyer as well. Get it out there. Push the show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, babe. I love you both. I love you both. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everybody out there in the internet worlds for joining us. And your questions were great. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Yeah, they had some really good questions.